Did the bear scare you? If so, it's working. The bear was always meant to be scary. Show little teeth, why don't you? What's up, Death Star Mike? Death Star Mike. What's up, Extra Bulla Bella Kate? Victory Gin is on X, reposted the stream on X. Right on. Poppy says, here's to political appointees controlling research grants. Giant leap for monarchy. Yep. Bella, you did some sound and lighting for a party. Nice. For a bunch of Leos. They're all a bunch of lunatics. Leos. All of them. Lovable lunatics, though. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Kate. Appreciate it. Well, my musical experiences were actually you're a claiming lunatic, Poppy? All right. Well, my musical experiences were not what I thought they were going to be. I ended up taking my daughter to the beach. That's what I ended up doing. So we went to the beach and had ourselves a time at the beach. That's what we did. Did not go out to see any shows. Went to the beach and got a really nice sunburn on my ankles. Which is really painful right now. So I was pretty good about the sunblock on the rest of my body, but I should have been a little more proactive, but because I'm white and the sun is hot, and so I got myself all sunblocked up before we left, but I didn't do my legs. And by the time I realized I should put sunblock on my legs, it was like way too late. So I'm okay. Like I'm not really sunburned, except for my ankles are really, really sunburned, which is messed up. I'm kind of in pain a little bit. What are you going to do? All right, guys. Yeah. Yeah, because my ankles are very white. 100 degrees in Portland. Golly. Is that right? Not that I don't believe you, Creative Experiments. It's just that I got to see things for myself. Oh my God. Indeed. Very hot in Portland. 97, it says on my app. It's going to be 97 today. Might as well call it 100. Tomorrow, very, very warm again. You're right. Yikes. Well, hold on. Yeah. Well, 97 in Portland ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. You had some did you go out and see some music, Kate? Did you see the bands you were gonna see? Hope so. Yeah, I didn't get to see music, but it was all right. I got to hang out with my kid and ate a bunch of snacks. Went to the beach and just chilled, basically. But I got a good musical education from my daughter because she knows all the cool bands that everybody's listening to, so she ends up turning me on to a lot of things that I am not aware of. And I ended up playing her a bunch of things that she's not aware of. So we kind of did a little music exchange. Surf Hat, you bought merch? Holy moly. 5 bands. Fish butter, butterfish. I think fish butter could be the name of a band, don't you think? You bet 'em. All right. Hold on. Hold on, people. Hold on, people. Are you bet 'em? Sure. All right, here we go. Well, let's get into it. Time is a wasting. And I've got so many things to do, so little time. The owner of Trump Burger in Houston is now facing deportation. I mean, it sucks. I can't even really laugh at the man's misfortune, I guess. It sucks to laugh at somebody's misfortune at the hands of a very powerful person that this person was duped to believe in. Oh man, I saw a really fish butter. Yeah, I feel like fish butter could be like the funk. You don't get much funkier than fishbone, but I feel like fish butter might be like the more R&B version of fishbone. Less bone, more butter. Um, sorry, sorry if it sounds inappropriate. I think it does. Uh, oh, what I was gonna say before I show you this clip. Is a smoother fish bone. Exactly. Fish butter, they'd be like the smooth jazz of fishbone. Like smooth jazz versions of fishbone songs. Oh, yeah. Okay. I got it. Maybe less jazz and more smooth. I don't know. Somebody the Muzak of Fishbone Music channel. I saw a post this morning, somebody talking about, or was it this morning or last night? I can't remember. Somebody talking about psychology not even being used in real terms. These, in our society, in our modern world, they're just saying like psychology. All of most of what is going on in psychology is all propaganda by the government. Think Bernays, think Edward Bernays. Propaganda by the government and marketing by corporations. To which I said, yeah. So they're saying like we're not using psychology to like make society better or heal people or get to some real truths. We're just using it to screw people's minds up. And that is correct. So the reason why I said that is because I can't feel bad. I can. I mean, I can feel bad for somebody who I believe has been propagandized to such a degree. And you could say maybe this person is just a jerk, and maybe this person is just, you know, maybe he gets what he deserves. I don't know. I don't know about all that. The owner of Trump Burger in Houston is now facing deportation. Look at that picture. Ridiculous. Oh, sorry.
Has been arrested by Immigration and Customs Enforcement and now faces deportation. ICE says Roland Biani, a 28-year-old from Lebanon, overstayed his visa after entering the U.S. back in 2019. He was taken into custody in May and is now out on bond as he awaits immigration proceedings. In a statement sent to KHOU 11, an ICE spokesperson told us, quote, under the current administration, ICE is committed to restore integrity to our nation's immigration system by holding all individuals accountable who illegally enter the country or overstay the terms of their admission. This is true regardless of what restaurant you own or political beliefs you may have. KHOU 11 confirming the owner of Trump Burger Restaurants, which has several locations.
We'll just let it sit there on that ridiculous picture. Yeah, I mean, okay. I guess it's a ha-ha funny for most. I think it would be a ha-ha funny. But people are so propagandized and so dumbed down and so what if this guy wasn't even a Trump supporter? What if he was just like, oh, people love Trump around here. I'll make $1 billion with a Trump burger chain. That's kind of unforgivable, don't you think? A shit burger indeed. Anyways, let's move on. Poor guy, poor fella. Poor fella. Oh, hey. Somebody hit me up on Ko-Fi. Hold on, we'll check that out in a second. Trump blackmailed by Israel. Jewish Israeli intelligence officer confirms that Netanyahu is in fact blackmailing President Trump. I mean, I think that it's kind of at this stage of the game, I think that a lot of people already understand this. It's true, extra bullet. It's true. And a lot of them do. Hold on one second.
I believe that the American government is sort of trapped by the Israelis. Jeffrey Epstein is one of their tools to trap them.
And what do you think of Dershowitz's denial?
Hold on a second. I want to give you an example. Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton, Ehud Barak, met Arafat in the 90s, and there was no deal. The reason was Epstein. They were being blackmailed by Epstein. Ehud Barak was also a friend of Epstein, the prime minister of Israel at the time. But he was being blackmailed by the Israeli right wing as well. And they stopped an agreement with Arafat. They were about to reach an agreement there for a two-state solution.
Okay, that's all I'm going to play of that because it's a very long clip. But I just heard too that the envoy from the Trump administration in the Israeli ceasefire talks has left the talks because citing kind of the same thing, that they keep scuttling the agreement. They get close to something, and then the U.S. and Israel, you choose which one is the tail and which one is the dog. Scuttles the progress. So hold on one second. Let's see if I can find this. I can't really find anything on this. I just heard this from around the way. But as of 2 weeks ago, U.S. and Israel ditched ceasefire talks. Hold on. As Trump envoy points finger at Hamas. That's Steve Witkoff. Oh, I do wish that I would. I'm sure that they do. Hamas is delicious on pita bread. But Hmm. Let's see. Still looking for this. Give me 1 second. Well, the news out of Israel is, all bad, as we can say, as we can see. Israeli military chief says IDF in a new stage of combat in Gaza. Funerals held for journalists. Oh, they actually just killed five Al Jazeera employees. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that was another. There's too much to cover, y'all. Victory Jen says, unfortunately, the worst is yet to come. Israel is targeting every last journalist in Gaza. That they are. They're actually limiting air traffic to journalists. They don't want anybody filming the area from above. Even though I believe recently a BBC reporter got some footage from above. Israel has been criticized for the killing of 5 Al Jazeera employees, a move the broadcaster said was a blatant attack on press freedom. Do you think so? Horrific, man. Absolutely horrific. In other news, they're using technology that has been tested in Gaza on U.S. protesters. So that's happening as well. Creative says, years before October 7th, Israel launched a missile at Al Jazeera's headquarters in Palestine. Yep. One big space rock changes everything. Well, hopefully the space rock lands in the appropriate place. Meanwhile, well, I was just talking about not only is psychology, I was talking about the psychological effects of propaganda and marketing, but it's really ramped up with algorithmic, like the psychological effects of algorithms on people's brains and how they think and how they get their information and how they think about their information, right? That's right, Bella. We are all Palestinians. We are all Gazans now. Is the internet changing our personalities for the worse? Conscientiousness and extroversion are down. Neuroticism up, with young adults leading the charge. This is really a consequential shift. There's a lot going on here, so let's get into the weeds. Young adults' personalities are changing with conscientiousness, sorry, I'm having a hard time saying that, is in a free fall. We'll look at this a little bit. First up, personality analysis can feel vague, and you might well ask why it even matters. On the first of those, the finding of distinct personality traits is robust. This field of research has been around for decades and holds up pretty well, even across cultures. On the second, studies consistently find personality shapes life outcomes. In fact, personality traits, especially conscientiousness and neuroticism, are strong predictors of career success, divorce, and mortality than someone's socioeconomic background or cognitive abilities. However, those things shape each other. Your socioeconomic background and or surroundings, i.e., what you come in contact with every day, affect your personality traits, right? They go hand in hand, which is another post I wanted to show you. I don't know if I can find it quickly enough. Highly conscientious people, dependable, disciplined, committed, fare best of all. They live the longest, succeed at work, their relationships last. This makes sense. Life isn't just about knowing what you should do or having the resources to do it. It's about following through. Conscientiousness is especially critical in the modern world. Life today is full of temptations, from hyper-engaging digital media to online gambling. The ability to ignore it all and put long-term well-being ahead of short-term kicks, I say, becomes a superpower. Get your kicks on the internet, bro. Generative AI could supercharge this dynamic. A high C student might use as LLM a personal tutor to strengthen their knowledge of a concept. Their low C counterpart might ask the same LLM with writing their essay, foregoing knowledge acquisition altogether. So that's conscientiousness. At the end of the spectrum, people high in neuroticism, anxious, often tense, feel emotions very strongly, tend to face more challenges in life. Relationships break down, work life is difficult, stress can bring health problems. People are changing in ways that decades of research suggests will lead to worse life outcomes, and this is particularly true of today's teens, 20s, and 30-somethings. If the headline terms still feel fuzzy, we can dig into the more detailed traits they're made up of. We're not going to do that, but I'm giving you an overview. They also say feel less outgoing and talkative. Young people say they increasingly struggle to make plans and follow through on them. They feel distracted and careless. They also say they feel less outgoing and talkative. True of everyone, but especially young adults. Young people also report feeling less helpful and less trusting, as well as more argumentative. Again, these are people's own self-assessments, not others' descriptions of them. There is an increase of societal level narcissism as well, brought on by social media and how it makes people think about themselves and the world around them. Societal level narcissism. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I see it everywhere. And on the heels of that, we'll play this. Oh, thank you, Kate, for the Ko-Fi. Kate hit me up on Ko-Fi. I appreciate you. First contribution of the week. Kicking it off. Listen to what this man is saying about again, manipulation, societal level manipulation. I'm going to say, just to balance everything out, that could and is true, but I also notice that there is I don't know. I see, this is my personal viewpoints. I do see a societal wide increase in these traits, narcissism and anxiety and stuff. I actually see it more so in older people. I see it less personally in younger people. Yes, younger people are feeling anxious, as they should, about the state of the world and what is happening. But I see a lot of kids that actually have their heads screwed on really, really straight. Some people are struggling, as you know, it is in the world, right? People struggle. Some people struggle, some people excel. That's life, baby. I think that's true of any generation or any, time that we're in. I see a lot of kids out there excelling. I see a lot of kids out there. Sure, there's a lot of stuff going on the internet, but they're raising their awareness around, what's going on in the world, and trying to and they're taking, they're taking like level-headed, reactions or approaches to it. And so I know it's hard and it's scary, and it's really scary to be, young at this time, I'm sure. But I am seeing like some kids out there. I'm just like, you guys are really well adjusted for, what's going on in the world for your age. Like, because when I was a kid, me and everyone I knew, we were all really struggling. We were all out to lunch. We were all like antisocial, and the people that were excelling were unicorns. They were not the norm. There were a few people excelling out there, a few people who had it together, but I was seeing a lot of dysfunction in my generation when I was younger. So I don't know, I think these studies are good to hold in our minds and to be aware of, but let us not be full of woe. Let's watch this though. This guy has a good take on what's going on.
You weren't supposed to hear this. Every system has a name. Democracy, socialism, capitalism. But the one you're living in right now, they never told you its name. Because the moment you know it, you'll see every single move they make. They've replaced landowners with data lords, armies with algorithms, and the taxes you pay are hidden inside every tap, every swipe, and every decision. They've built something I call technocratic feudalism, and inside it, they run a program called manufactured friction. It's the reason why you're never allowed peace for long. The reason why there's always a crisis, a feud, or a fight. Chaos isn't a mistake. It's the business model. But chaos alone isn't enough. They've turned your life into compliance capitalism, where you don't just pay for access, you have to prove obedience. Every border, every transaction, every digital checkpoint is a test. Are you still following the script? And if you think this is just your country, you've already lost. Because this is corporate colonialism 2.0. Nations are bought with debt, governments are just regional offices, and your president isn't the CEO, he's customer service. And at the top you have a few root access holders. Below them you have protocol enforcers, and at the bottom is us, end users in their sandbox running side quests while they collect the gold. And here is the part you're not meant to realize. The fight was never between left and right, race and race, man and woman. It is between the owners of the system and everyone trapped inside. And the moment enough of us stop playing their game, the system collapses. That's why they'll keep you distracted until your last breath. So now you know the name, and you can never unknow it.
All right, good insight there. Good thoughts there. I thought again, we can see it and we can react to it in ways that are healthier for us, right? I don't, even though things seem pretty dark and seem pretty bad, I'd see a lot of optimism, I guess, or things to be optimistic about in people's reactions to these kind of things. And I think it's good to counter what you see, especially what you see on the internet, counter your own real world observations and thoughts, about things. Like counter the onslaught of doom and counter the onslaught of dysregulating stuff that you're seeing. Yes, there's terrible things. Absolutely, there's terrible things going on. But I think they're trying to manufacture this doomscape, right, in order to keep people like off center and off kilter and again, no agency, without the ability to counter things with like their own internal dialogue. So, even though we spend every day, especially on this show, we spend a lot of time doom scrolling and looking at the doom and talking about the doom, that doesn't necessarily reflect reality. And I think that we can keep ourselves level with things that counter this whole narrative of doom, right? And thinking outside of the system that they want you to buy into, or that they want to force you to buy into, right? And one of the things that they're forcing you into, they're manipulating you into, is anxiety and fear, depression, distraction, as he was saying. Don't let it distract you. Turn that shit off, right? You can turn it off in your mind. You can turn it off and just look around you and see, like, there are actually positives out there to hold on to, right? I'm seeing a lot of resistance to, like, what people are saying about the Trump administration and what's going on with them. I don't necessarily agree that everything that is, that they're saying that they're going to roll out is going to actually take hold or be successful, because there are, pretty much, I want to say the majority of people are aligned against what's happening. Malcolm says, don't get stuck in the human world. The Earth's energy imbalance is still about to kill us all. Probably. Anxiety, fear, depression is my husband. I'm sorry to hear that, Kate. What is it? Fear is the mind killer. And all of those things, anxiety, fear, and depression, are killers. They will take you out so freaking quickly. Do not allow them to take hold of you. Do not. I mean, and it can just completely change your vision of everything. Hey, Jack, I'm going to block you now. Dickhead. Don't come up here saying racist stuff. All right. It's not happening. Yeah. Free speech. You can free speech all you want somewhere else, but we're not doing that. Thanks so much for playing. And to my mind, I don't see people, right? They're trying to make you think that everybody out there is there's a bunch of crazy lunatics out there that you're going to have to You know, we're going to have a civil war. We're not having no civil war. Fuck that. That's not happening. Sorry. It ain't happening, yo. It's not happening. Nah. You might have people pissed off here and there, but it's not happening. You might have some outliers here and there. It's not happening. That's not how people feel. That's not how they're operating. Because we operate on love and compassion, and we operate on like human connection, and we operate on community, and we're not operating on that. Okay. They want you to feel bad. They want you to feel like, oh my God, it's not. and resist it first internally, and then we can resist it externally. Speaking of which, so there's crazy stuff going on with Trump, and we're going to go through a little bit of it. And it's, it sucks and it's weird, but I want, what you should know is that he's making this shit up. This is all made up shit. All of this, like, oh, DC is a crime. It's a cesspool of, no, it's not. I mean, yeah, there's crime everywhere. Yeah, there's, people doing bullshit everywhere. It is not. DC is not a criminal cesspool. Chicago is not a criminal cesspool. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's violence. Yeah, there's people that are struggling with like difficult living situations and acting out of that. That's not reality. Sorry. It's not. LA is not, he's trying to say that like, oh, these cities are on fire. They're not on fire. Sorry. It's not happening. That's not real. That's not true. So don't, this is not an excuse to do what he is trying to do. And everybody needs us, to resist this by saying like, bro, you are freaking lying. This is not a real thing. You're making something up. And in order to make something happen, we're not doing this. That's the way it needs to go down. Trump officially invokes the Home Rule Act, deployment of National Guard troops and federalization of police to liberate America's Shut up, bro. You don't need to liberate shit. Okay? We need to liberate ourselves from your ass.
And we're here for a very serious purpose.
It's very serious. Oh my God.
Oh
God. Oh my God. It's so
in
serious.
Control very quickly, like
bullshit.
we did on this.
This is a lie. This is made up shit. This is some bullshit. Don't take the bait. Don't play along. Do not play this game with them. Yeah, he's trying to say, oh, New York is, so bad. No, man, it is not. Like, the worst thing that's happening is economic downturn. That's a real thing that's happening. Inflation, there are restaurants and stores and things closing all over the place in LA. Like restaurants that have been open for 100 years and like really old, like these, venerated old establishments are closing down all over the place. Why? Because it's unaffordable to do business here. It is, very difficult to carry on doing business here. People are squeezed and pinched economically. Yes, that's absolutely happening. And a lot of people could, say that this is, generated or engineered, right? Economic. What's not true, Bella? What are you pointing to? I just don't know what you were responding to. YouTube censored you? I don't know. I'm seeing your Did they just censor a specific post? Anyways, man, I just don't, I think this is a bunch of bullshit, personally, and this is way, way, way down the road of overreach. And they don't. I think, personally, this is what I think is happening. Oh, I got it. Or you could say grape. They are trying to what I think what they're trying to do is well, make a military presence on the streets of whatever city, any city, name a city, make it a regular thing, and to normalize it, and to make it seem like, right? They're trying to build out like a police state, basically, a fascist police state, and they're using things that aren't true in order to do it, right? Yes, economically, people are having a hard time. People are struggling. Sure, there's crime because of that. That, if you put people into a hard spot, their response is going to be like, I got to do something to eat. Of course, that's going to force people to act out. But there's the cities are not crime-ridden cesspools, and it's not it's not on fire. No, dude, no, I'm sorry, it's not happening. That is not a real thing.
Southern border. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
Whatever, it's bro.
Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. And you'll be meeting the people that will be directly involved with that.
Wow.
Very good people, but they're tough, and they know what's happening, and they've done it before. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish.
What is the I think they were using somebody getting beat up, or supposedly beat up, and helping a woman who was having her car stolen. They were using some incident that happened like a week ago in order to, like, what is this? Like, what's the thing that this is a response to? What is the thing? Or what are the things? What are the many things that supposedly this is a response to? Like, I just, I don't understand.
Law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it too. You're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be.
I hope the reporters are like, what are you talking about? Am I a victim of something? I don't think so. That's right, Bella.
You're on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And
really,
it can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe, and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something.
Personally, I don't see it. I don't see it. Do you guys see it? Like, I'm sure. Oh, he does, Bella. I'm sure there are instances, right? There, you're going to know somebody who's a victim of a crime or whatever, but like, really? Are you serious? I don't see it. I don't hear of it. I'm not privy to it, not witness to it. I'm not, I'm not privileged. I'm not in some, I don't live in some cul-de-sac somewhere. No, it's not happening. This is absolute freaking nonsense. And people need to call this shit out. Like, everybody needs to call this shit out.
Thing. And you don't have that now. The murder rate.
What they're trying to do is militarize DC because they know that people are pissed. They remember the video I showed you last week, the AI video of MAGA coming to the gates of the White House. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're doing this, because they know the next thing that's going to happen is people are going to come to the gates of the White House, and they want the military all over the streets of DC to keep everybody out. Which is why this is happening, and this is absolutely freaking bullshit. Yeah, Chad, you're right.
Rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth, much higher. This is much higher. The number of car thefts has doubled over the past 5 years, and the number of carjackings has more than tripled. Murders in 2023 reached.
No. Okay, so I'm going to, all right, we just don't have time for this nonsense. We got to move through this. Well, he's saying something about New York, Chicago, and all the other cities. I'm like, what, dude? Come on, man.
Same thing here. But then I'm going to look at New York in a little while.
Why?
Let's do this. Let's
Why?
do this together. Let's see. It's going to go pretty quickly. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. He's an incompetent man. And we have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. His family threw him out of the
That's
business.
right.
And he ran for
Gregory. That's right. So this is great. This is great. This is great. MSNBC is showing crime statistics while Trump is doing this. They're showing that crime is down in DC and in the US, all over the place. Actually, crime is down, markedly over the last few years. And this has been, I've heard this a lot. Like, there's been a lot of headlines and people saying like crime is down, and we don't know why. Like, crime has gone down significantly. We don't know why. So what is he even talking about? That's what I'm saying. You got to counter like this bullshit and this, oh my God, it's all falling apart. Oh my God. Oh, here he comes. He's doing all the shit. Yes, it's crazy what he's doing. It's absolutely crazy, but you got to counter it with some like level-headed, calm reality. Like, nope, this is not what's happening, bro. And we're not playing. We're not playing with this game. So look at this. MSNBC puts the actual crime statistics on the screen, and Trump lies and invents imaginary stats about crime surging.
And when you say take a look at numbers, I just saw some charts. These are different cities throughout the world. Red is okay. The red is a place called Washington, D.C. Look at these.
No, dude, we don't believe you. Stop lying.
Baghdad.
Stop freaking lying. Why are you always
Doubled
lying?
up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia.
Okay, whatever. You're full of shit. He does sound like he's messed up on something. And by the way, this is all happening while they're literally having like administration-wide meetings about what to do about the Epstein situation. And their cover got blown. They were supposed to have some high-level meeting about dealing with the Epstein thing, and their cover got blown, and they had to move it. And there's, they're talking about there's a leaker with JD Vance. Somebody keeps leaking what's going on. Top Trump officials, this is 5 days ago, will discuss the Epstein strategy. From Daily Mail, inside Trump's inner circle's top secret Epstein crisis talks as his henchmen struggle to contain negative press. So this continues to dog them when people don't believe anything that they're saying about this. Chad says the Trump administration is attempting to solidify power. Trump doesn't plan to concede power in the next. Yeah, but the thing is that there's a tipping point at which people in charge of the military or certain areas, cities, regions, people are going to start saying no, we're not doing it. We're not playing along. We're not doing this with you. There's a point at which the people themselves, like ICE officers have been leaving. Right, so that's been happening. They've been resigning. They've been leaving the quitting the force. And that's a real thing. At some point, people are going to just not want to play along, right? People in the forces, people who are in the National Guard, people who are, in ICE, they're not going to play along. They're going to know what they're doing is wrong. They're going to feel it from everyone they know in their communities that what they're doing is wrong. Let's see. Oh man, it's late. But so keep your head above water. Keep your wits about you. I know it seems crazy what's happening. ICE is so unsexy, like an incel force. I know. Well, and there, who was it in the chats just said recently that yeah, they're all they're only really getting people to work because they're paying so well, right? Because people are struggling financially and they're offering like a lot of money for people to do this, right? And that if that's what you need to do is incentivize people who are broke and struggling, like how long can that, that's not a real incentive. There's no belief behind that. There's no conviction behind that. That's just like, well, I'm just trying to pay my bills, yo. Right on, Poppy. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. By the way, if you do appreciate the show, if you like the show being free, coming to you free Monday through Friday, and you want to support just like Kate did earlier, there are ways to do it in the description box of either Rumble or YouTube, where there's a link tree on X, and there's all the regular avenues: PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, etc. A whole bunch of you support the show on the regular, and you know who you are, and I appreciate you. I really do. All right. Trump disavows any supporter who still asks to see the Epstein files. Disavows any supporter. Are you saying that you're effectively disowning your supporters? Trump says, I've lost a lot of faith in certain people. Yeah. Share this so MAGA abandons him. Sorry, can't hear this. Can't really hear it.
This morning, you mentioned past supporters when you were talking about the Epstein issue. Does that mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now? Because they got duped by the Democrats. This morning,
Okay. He's saying he doesn't care. He doesn't align with the supporters that question him on Epstein. All right. Way to hold on to your base there, pal. Way to play to your base. No, I don't think. Again, I don't think this is going to go very well. Yeah, I haven't seen Joseph in a while. I'm sure he's lurking around somewhere. Let's see. Where are we? Let's at least talk about this before we get out of here. There was a lot I wanted to cover today. Two things I wanted to talk about. Oh, man, there's so much to talk about. Jeff Bezos has been approved for a fake salmon. Wild type claims the ingredients in its lab-grown fish, which include pink coloring, antibacterial agents, and cell growth promoters like FGF2, are all proprietary. The U.S. FDA rubber stamps fake salmon with no independent testing. This is Jeff Bezos. Well, this post is from Children's Health Defense. That means people who eat the fake salmon, which is already being served in upscale restaurants, have no idea what they're eating. Wild Type's lab-grown sushi-grade fish is now being sold in canned. A restaurant in Portland, Oregon. Grok says Wild Type plans to clearly disclose its cell-cultivated salmon on restaurant menus using terms like cell-cultivated to accurately indicate its lab-grown origins. Meanwhile, a company is making fake butter out of carbon. Out of carbon. Let's watch this.
It looks, smells, and tastes like the butter we're all familiar with, but without the farmland, fertilizers, or emissions tied to that typical process. And this butter breakthrough, it's happening right here in Batavia. In the middle of an industrial park in a suburb west of Chicago, something unprecedented is happening.
What's happening?
So you're using this gas right now to cook your food.
It's unprecedented.
And we're proposing that we would like to first make your food with that gas.
The company
with
is
gas.
Savor.
Now you're cooking with gas.
Better believe it. Their pioneering tech uses carbon and hydrogen to make the stick of butter you see on this plate.
This is pretty novel to be able to make food that looks and tastes and feels exactly like dairy butter, but with no agriculture whatsoever.
And no long ingredient list the average person can't pronounce.
It's really just our fat, some water, a little bit of lecithin as an emulsifier, and some natural flavor and color.
Okay, bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on this because they're trying to make it seem like, oh, it's just we're making fat molecules. It doesn't really matter whether, chemically or molecularly, it resembles butter or fat. Like the process is different from the natural process that we know of, and you have to assume, you must assume that something is different in the process that is going to make the end result. Who knows what the long-term effects are? Who knows what's missing or what's added or what could be good for you or bad for you, right? We don't really know that. And what they don't say in this entire video is, has this been tested? I watched it twice and I was like, did you guys even ask, like, hey, has this been long-term tested on animals and humans and everything is fine? We've done tests for 10 years on this and we know everything is fine. I'm sure they haven't.
How? Fats are made up of carbon and hydrogen chains. The goal here, replicate those chains without animals or plants. And they did it. They tell me, to simplify, they take carbon dioxide from the air and hydrogen from water, heat them up and oxidize them. The final result?
It looks like a wax, like a candle wax at
All
first.
right.
But they're fat molecules.
That's what I
like
always
the
wanted
ones
to eat,
in
some
beef,
wax.
cheese, or vegetable oils.
Sustainability is why we are here.
It's all done releasing 0 greenhouse gases, using no farmland to feed cows.
We're like not at full capacity in this facility yet.
And even though we're standing in a factory setting,
And in addition to the carbon footprint
She
being
looks
much
like
lower
wax.
for a process like this, right?
Denver
the
says
land
it's not new
footprint
tech.
is like 1,000 times
Non-organic
lower than would be
molecules
made in
and
traditional
consumable food,
agriculture.
which
I
can't be
know
good
what you're
for you,
thinking.
right?
I think we need to taste this.
I would love for you to taste this.
how does it taste?
I love butter, so I'm gonna take a really.
All right, I'm not playing any more of this, but they just go on to say, like, this is incredible. It's the biggest thing since sliced bread. Okay. 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 Sure. I just want to know what the long-term health effects are. Apparently the company is backed by Bill Gates. I don't know. Sure. I want to know what the long-term health effects are, because every single time there's a new, miracle, newfangled, oh my God, this is the biggest breakthrough. And this is, brand new, and it's going to make everything better, and it's going to be, sustainable. I don't know. It made me think of like Blade Runner 2024, right? When they're they found some way to like synthesize food because they couldn't really grow any food anymore. It's what the Germans were eating as opposed to starving. Okay. Every time they say it's a new, right, new miracle, food, drug, whatever it might be, it always ends up, always, I'm going to say 100% of the time, always ends up having some effects that were, oh no, I'm sorry, oh shoot, 20 years later, it's bad for you. Oh, like this is just technology. This is just like, this is how technology goes. Oh, sorry, we didn't know that. We'll have to change it up. We'll try a different formula. How about just some butter, bro? I don't know. It's nasty. It's nasty, if you ask me. No, sir. Let's see. Couple of, Well, I think I'm going to have to hold over these other things for tomorrow. There was a mass casualty event in Pittsburgh. Did y'all hear about this? An explosion at the steel Clairton Coke Works in Pennsylvania. And Wisconsin, did you guys see that Wisconsin got really flooded out over the weekend? They got mangled. Massive flooding occurred in an indoor parking garage near 84th Street in Wisconsin. Yeah. We'll bring back some of these other art subjects, issues, and whatnot tomorrow. We're already a little bit over time. Butter flavored petrol jelly. Yeah, I just, sure, it's delicious, but is it good for you? The Menominee, is that how you say it? Menominee? Menominee? Menominee. That's frightening. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you tomorrow at the regular time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for choosing Black Bear News. And I'll see you all tomorrow. And till then, beware the bear.